Wow, Willie here, getting sick on water. Back again with another video for you. Don't you worry, it's going to be awesome. I got the board here. So let's jump right into it. You know, you are alive. You are alive and you have a mind and you have a body, okay? The first thing you got to understand before we proceed is that your mind mirrors your body. And your body mirrors your mind. Okay, that's the first thing you got to understand. The second thing you got to understand is if you are alive and you are awake, you are conscious. You are cognizing. Okay? And your mind recognizes the things that you cognize, that you perceive, right? That creates sensation in the body because your mind mirrors your body, and then there's a reaction. Okay, so you got cognition, recognition, sensation, reaction. This is the flow of the consciousness, the flow of the life, the aggregates. We've talked about this in another video. I may post that video. I may not in the description link. I don't know. Who knows? So you got to understand that. Okay, we're gonna use a graphic. And we're going to look at this 3 different levels of abstraction. I can't even handle myself. All right, let's jump right in. Did I get everything? Oh, example. An example for you. You're alive. You're walking down the street, and you're conscious. You're going down the street, and then suddenly you recognize a person coming towards you. And when you recognize that person as your true love, your heart opens, a rush of good feeling goes throughout your body, and then your mind says, oh, what good luck, God has blessed me, my fortunate day, I get to run into my sweetie. That's an example of this process. All right, as we go through the life, consciousness is kind of like a line, so let's jump right into it. Now this paper right here, this is your life. This is Willie's life. I'm not talking about the things that happen in your life. I'm talking about your inside life. You know, we like to talk about the human experience on this channel. I love it. So that's what we're talking about. This blank piece of paper, this is your life. Okay? Now, if we were to draw a line on this piece of paper like that, we're going to call that consciousness. That's your consciousness. This is your life, and that's the consciousness. It's just going. I actually should have made it like go from end to end, like like in cartoons, you know, when they run off this side and then it comes back over on this side. Woo! Okay, so now we're gonna flip the paper around. Okay. So if you were to draw recognition, sensation, and reaction on this line with consciousness, it kind of looked like this if they were all tied together. Now, recognition, sensation, reaction, that's kind of a loop. So it's kind of going to look like this. Bear with me, folks. It's kind of going to look like that. So if your conscious awareness is tied to, I don't know, recognition, sensation, reaction, it's your day, your moment, your life is kind of going to look like that. So say you are walking down the street and you're conscious and you start to recognize a person coming from you and it's your worst enemy. You're going to recognize your worst enemy. You're going to have a feeling of anger or some bad feeling flow throughout your body. And you're going to have a thought, which is mirrored from that feeling, that says, I'm gonna kill this person. This is my worst enemy. It's time to go. Let's do it. And maybe you just think of them. Maybe you're walking down the street. You have a thought that is a recognition of your worst enemy. the same feeling happens. Oh, when I see that person, I'm going to kill that person. And suddenly you walk from this end of the street to that end of the street and you have no conscious recollection of doing it. You've just been stewing about this angry hate, your enemy, right? This is called, we're going to call this something, guys. This is called misery. And if you've been a miserable person, you know it all too well. We're going to call this reaction. Okay? This is a level of consciousness. If I haven't told you yet, we're talking about the 4 levels of consciousness. Okay? This is the first level of consciousness. This is called reaction. Now, if you are able, through some means, to get some distance from your conscious awareness, from that process of recognition, sensation, reaction, the mind recognizing, the form sensing and reacting, then you're going to look a little bit like this. So the picture is still ugly. It's still ugly, but we see that your conscious awareness is differentiated from the cycle that's occurring within your body. Okay? Now, if you ever pay attention to just like your body, like if you just sit and you just feel your body, right? It kind of, I don't know, it kind of is what it looks like. So we're going to call that sensation. This is the next level of consciousness. So your conscious awareness is differentiated from the phenomena that is your form. You're consciously aware of feeling. Basically, that's kind of what feeling looks like. When you really sit down and you really feel your body for a long period of time, when you really open your body up, that's what it kind of looks like. All right? Because the body senses and reacts. Form reacts. The mind recognizes, the body senses, and form reacts. That's kind of the law that we're dealing with in this model. All right. So let's move on up to the next level of conscious awareness. So you've got some more distance from your feelings. Maybe you're paying attention to your mind. Okay? So if you're okay. You see what we're doing here? You see what's happening here with my model? I know sometimes it's hard. Okay, so that third line, that's your consciousness. And then those little horseshoe things, what we've done is we've broken the loop. We've broken this loop. See, we've moved the loop away from conscious awareness. We've moved it away here. See, it's totally all, that's your life right there. Now there's 2 separate things happening here. Now the conscious awareness is still a constant, but the bottom thing has changed. It's kind of broken up, right? So if this is conscious awareness, and maybe this is recognition, right here, there's no sensation, there's no reaction, there's just conscious awareness and recognition. That might be like the conscious awareness of a thought form, right? I'm consciously aware, there's a space of nothing in there, and then there's a thought form. Oh, my enemy, forget that guy. Blank space. Oh, what am I going to have for lunch? Blank space. Oh, I can't wait to get up in the morning. Blank space. You see what I'm saying? We're going to call this recognition. All right? This is called recognition. I love you guys. The 40, 50 of you who watch my video channels. This is the third stage of consciousness. Right? Okay, the final stage of consciousness. Are you guys ready for it? Have you caught on with what this is going to look like on this bottom one here? If we are totally able to separate phenomena from our conscious awareness, what do we have? We have a field of conscious awareness. And that's the fourth stage of consciousness, and it's called it's called consciousness. It's called consciousness. So what am I telling you? As we move from the top to the bottom, we move from a life that's dominated by the natural process, the natural phenomenological occurrence of form, which is recognition, sensation, reaction, recognition, sensation, reaction, recognition, sensation, reaction. And when that is tied, when that is explicitly tied to our consciousness, and it is totally tied to our field of consciousness, this is suffering. This is called reaction. Okay? This is when the internal world is allowed to do what it is programmed to do. So as we separate our conscious awareness from that process, we're able to get some distance, and we can see sensations occurring in the body. We can watch the sensations occurring in the body, and it kind of looks like that. Sensations bubble up. They're arisings. They arise, they pass away. They arise, they pass away. They arise, they pass away. In more fluid rapidity than we see here with mental formations arising within the mind. Right? It comes. It comes. It comes. It's like a blip. It's like a blip on the EKG heart machine or whatever. It's a blip, right? And we can see that. And it starts to get more clear, more open, more free from phenomena. And when we're able to totally distance ourselves from the phenomena that is the process of this form, our forms, then we can reside in pure conscious awareness. Our field of conscious awareness can be blank. It can be empty. It means that I can sit here and I can be at one with my total environment. This is crazy. This is crazy, but folks, this is how your inside world, this is how your inner life, this is how it can look. This is how it looks, and this is the 4 stages of consciousness that you can exist in, right? So this was one level of abstraction that we view. This is 2 levels of abstraction that we looked at this law on. That with the example of walking down the street, seeing your true love, and then seeing your worst enemy, we see the process occurring within the body, right? And then we see that the level of conscious awareness that we're able to distance from the process that is form, body, right? Then we can reside in any one level of consciousness at any moment, right? I can be in a state of reaction, which is misery. I can totally be creating misery for myself right here, right now, depending on how tied my conscious awareness is to the phenomena in my body in response to what is happening outside, right? Like if I'm trying to solve a problem and I can't see the answer to the problem and I just keep ruminating on this problem, this is misery, right? If I'm able to get some distance from this process, just live in my body for a moment, feel the sensations, I can see the process happen, right? If I've attained a level of consciousness to distance myself from this process, I can see the mind arise, separate from me, separate from my consciousness, right? This is assuming that the conscious awareness is separated from all of the forms, right? And then when I'm purely consciously aware, my field of consciousness is blank. It's free. It's empty. I'm totally removed from misery. And then the next level of abstraction is the one I talked about in the previous video. It's when consciousness leaves the form that is your life, depending on whatever intelligence that you carried, which is recognition, right? Because the mind is intelligence. The mind recognizes, right? Consciousness is just like, right? Then it will recognize a form a sensational construction that mostly, it mostly lines up with and then reacts and forms another life, right? So the more in this life that we can reside in the present moment in total conscious awareness, the more impetus and the more force we create in ending the cycle of birth and death, rebirth. I don't know, guys. I got sick on water, huffing the Sharpies. Till next time, Wild Willie out.